Hello, everybody. Hello. I think everybody is there, back here. Hello, Sonali. Thank you. I think we were at animal effects on animal we have covered. Then we'll see next. Am I audible properly? Am I audible properly? I hope I am. Okay, thank you. What are the effects of air pollution on human health? Actually, basically, immediate effects are being observed on the human health as compared to the any other element in the environment. So what are these effects? So many of the time we are feeling ear, throat, nose irritation. Is it? So that is ear, nose, throat irritation. Then irritation of respiratory tract. If some acidic kind of air pollutants are inhaled by us and we are continuously exposed with this, then we feel that there is a irritation of respiratory tract. Then chronic pulmonary diseases. Pulmonary tract is there and it is being hampered due to the chronically hampered, chronic in the sense for longer period. Then asthmatic attack. So many of the time, simple example. I am not able to make you understand properly because you are not serious about the air pollutants, because we are not facing that much problems. We are enough fortunate. We are living in a proper zone. That's why we are enough fortunate. We are not getting exposed with this much air pollutant. But simple impact, that asthmatic attack you might have observed, is it? Or sometimes due to the air pollution exposure or the dust particles, many of the people used to face that sneezing, is it? Immediate impact you might have observed. Then the cancer, skin cancer, throat cancer, is it, will be possible due to the air pollutant impact. If there is not the proper cover of the ozone in a stratosphere and the solar radiations are transporting towards the earth, that is also acting as one of the air pollutant. And immediately we may face the cancer effect, a skin cancer effect due to that solar radiations. Then the lead poisoning, is it? Then bone fluorosis, lead poisoning. What is meant by lead poisoning? Lead is one of the air pollutant that you may be aware. When such air pollutants, lead is usually bigger in size and deposit on the land, and the plant absorb that lead through their roots, and that is being inhaled by us, being consumed by us while eating such crop products, and then we will start impacting. Do you know that so like this impact was being observed in the many of the cities where there is the lead production is more. Then the bone fluorosis, the weakening of your bones is being observed. Then increase in morbidity and morbidity rate. Mortality and morbidity rate in the sense that the people used to feel genetical impact, simply you can say that is the genetical impact. then shortening of lifespan, then genetic effects. So these are the various impacts will be observed on the human health if coming into continuous contact with the air. Uneasiness, vomiting, these are also common impacts. Do you know that drivers usually who are working as a driver coming into contact with a continuous exposure of air pollutants emitting from that motor vehicles, and after some time of their service they are feeling uneasy, they keep on shouting, or the angriness is coming into their nature. That is the ill effect of air pollutant, or also ill effect of the sound pollution. Okay, so such a way the air pollutants are affecting on the human health also. uh, Please keep on writing and finish it within 1 minute. Already we have lost a lot of time today. Shall we go to the next point? Effect of air pollutant on physical features of the atmosphere. Physical features of the atmosphere. What are the visibility? Due to fog formation, smoke formation, visibility will lost. Effects on urban atmosphere and weather conditions. Is it weather in the weather and climate? There is a change in these two words. Weather. You can say today's weather is not good. Today's weather is some delicious today, but you cannot say today's climate is not good, because weather is a concept which can be used for the temporary impact, and climate is a concept which can be used for the long term impact, climatic condition of that region, we can say. But if you want to mention the today's condition, you should use the word weather. So effects on urban atmosphere and weather conditions. So dusty or कार्बन इमिशन, ह्यूज अमाऊंट ऑफ कार्बन इमिशन. असं म्हटलं जातं की पुण्यामध्ये कुठल्याही एका चौकात उभं राहायचं, एक 10 मिनिट उभं राहायचं पांढरा शर्ट घालून, तो 10 मिनिटानंतर निश्चित काळा झालेला असतो. इतक्या अमाऊंट मध्ये कार्बन पार्टिकल्स आर इमिटिंग इन टू दॅट city. So that is also dangerous impact. And hence, these are the carbon particles we are inhaling while standing to make our shirt white to black. These are also inhaled by us, is it? And we are feeling nausea, vomiting, or if someone is coming into contact continuously, they will go for the lung cancer or all such chronic impacts. Effects on the atmospheric constituents also. As you very first of this chapter start, I told you there is a atmospheric composition is a standard composition, and its a constitution is getting changed due to the emission of such activities, and that is nothing but the change in constitution of atmospheric, is it? So these are the effects of air pollutants on physical features of the atmosphere. Getting? So please write down this, and then we'll start the next point. Whether 2 minutes are sufficient for you? 1 minute, actually. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to the next. Introduction to meteorological aspects. What is the meteorological aspects? I don't know whether you know the fundamentals about the meteorological aspects or no. meteorological aspect in the sense various parameters which are influencing the air pollution dispersion. So very first and very important thing you please note down. Suppose this is a particular industry and that industry is having a chimney and it is emitting the air pollutants through that chimney. But and if the chimney is not being constructed, then the industry will start emitting their air pollutants at this level. Is it? As this is the base of chimney, so at the same level air pollutants will be emitting, and we are surviving at this level. Is it? So maximum you can say 10-20 meter height may be there, and in that region the air pollutants are emitting. So immediately it will be deposited here, and the people who are surviving in that region will come into contact with the air pollution continuously, because that industry is the stationary. So you are coming in, and you people, the people who are residing there, they are also stationary. So they will be exposing with the air pollutant continuously, and uh, they will suffer with through the different diseases because of that air pollutants. But if we construct such kinds of chimney and we are allowing to pass the air pollutants into the atmospheric layer, higher level of the atmosphere, there is a possibility to disperse in a different direction. It will go to disperse in a different direction, and then it will not affect on the human health. Is it? Or that residal people. म्हणजे हाच area, I'm using many of the time the same word, that continuous impact. The air pollution is not affecting if you are up to the threshold limit. What is meant by threshold limit? Do you know the example of Napoleon Bonaparte? How he died? Napoleon Bonaparte. It was difficult for a longer time to identify how the Napoleon Bonaparte was died, because the it was a plan to make him die. How it was done? That uh, poison was given continuously in his food, regular food, and that poison was the slow poison. The air pollutants are also acting as a slow poison. If you are inhaling for some time, it is not going to be affect. If you are inhaling continuously for some time, then you may affect some temporary diseases, and more than this time, then chronic diseases, and one day will come you may get die. Is it? So this is known as the slow poison. If it is up to some certain limit, it will not affect. If cross that threshold limit, immediately you will face the uh, ill effect of that particular air pollutant. So it is acting as a slow poison. So the Napoleon Bonaparte was also fed with the slow poison daily basis. So if it is given complete poison in a one day, it is easy to identify that how he has been died. Is it? So that's why to avoid that, it was not being given to with the entire poison on one day. Daily basis, continuously for longer period, the poison was given through his food, and that slow poison usually not getting out through the various activity. It is depositing into your body for a longer period, and at a certain time it will increase, and it's a threshold limit will cross, and then person will face the ill effect of that slow poison. So same was happened with the Napoleon Bonaparte. He was consuming poison through regular food for a longer period, and that's why it was deposited into his body, and it was not doctors and the medical team was not able to find how he has been died. But after long research, it was observed that the lead poison is being observed in his nails and the hairs, roots of the hair. Means it was deposited, and it was a slow. The lead is also slow poison. Is it? it was deposited in his body. After a long time, the threshold limit was crossed and he died. Is it? So the air pollutants are acting as a slow poison. Many of the air pollutants are acting as a slow poison. That's why we should not allow people to come into contact with us, continuous contact. So that's why we should not allow to dispose that air pollutant from that particular industry into the same area for a longer period. So we should, for that purpose, we need to make some arrangement, and that arrangement is possible by constructing a chimney at a higher level. Then it will emit into the atmosphere. Now, it is emitting into the atmosphere is the first thing. But where it is going to be sprayed, how long it is going to be sprayed, what will be the concentration in different region, that depends upon the meteorological parameters. Okay. So what are these meteorological parameters? These meteorological parameters are nothing but the wind direction, wind speed, wind direction, wind speed, temperature, then atmospheric stability and mixing height. Okay, wind direction. So before that, I will give more exposure to these meteorological parameters. Whenever you are going to start a new project in the sense industry, you need to go for the permissions, various permissions, local bodies and the higher bodies. Local bodies in the sense gram panchayat, talati karyalay, then you need to take permission from the panchayat samiti, then you need to take permission from the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, Central Pollution Control Board. They will assess, they will monitor whether your industry, the proposed project is going to be affect on the nearby area or not. How they assess? With the help of meteorological parameters. We'll see with one example that suppose Sweris College of Engineering, Pandharpur is the industry, is not the college. It is one of the acid industry, or we can say it is a fertilizer industry. So while constructing that industry at that specific spot, you need to take permission from all these bodies. While taking permission, they will analyze whether the emission of air pollutant will affect on the Gopalpur or that side small towns. What is the wind direction for the entire year? Whether the wind speed is sufficient or very stagnant environment is there, or the temperature is very high or temperature is very cold, they will affect. And then from these various parameters, they will analyze, they will prepare the analytical report of the air pollution impact. And if it is not affecting, then they will give permission to go for the project. Otherwise, they will deny to the permission. Okay, this is the meteorological parameter. This is the background about the meteorological aspects. So there are two types of the meteorological parameters. First is the primary parameters and secondary parameters. Under primary parameters, wind direction, whether wind is moving in which direction. Okay, then how long it can be possible to move. Then what is the temperature, what is the atmospheric stability, whether stagnant environment is there or there is some movements, proper movements of air are being observed. And accordingly, as per the atmospheric stability, the mixing height vertically, whether the pollutants will mix vertically or not, that is also being observed with the help of primary parameters, primary meteorological parameters. Okay. Then the secondary meteorological parameters. What are the secondary meteorological parameters? So first of all, write down the primary parameters, then we'll discuss. Okay, what are the secondary parameters? These are the secondary parameters. Now in a secondary parameter, you can see precipitation, then humidity, solar radiation, and visibility. So sufficient wind direction is changing for different timing, different days in a month, or different months in a year. If it is changing, there will not be the impact. If it is not changing, there will be the impact. Wind speed, sufficient wind speed is there. It will move. The dispersion of air pollutant will be performed for a longer distance, and then concentration will keep on distributing. So one community is not getting affected. Immediate impact will not be observed. Is it? So likewise, when precipitation is sufficient, precipitation is there, no heavy rainfall or no dry area, you might have observed air. You are feeling very fresh. Is it? Not only the impact of that you are waking up with a proper rest, it is the impact of fresh environment. Why the environment is fresh? During precipitation, atmospheric air pollutants will drop down along with the water droplets on the surface, earth surface, and the air becomes a fresh, clean, free from air pollutants. That's why you feel fresh. Then your mood is changing like this. Is it? Then the humidity. If the humidity is more, humidity in the sense water droplet, presence of water droplets, water vapors into the atmosphere. If humidity is more, there is a chances to attract the air pollutants towards the, this will convert into heavy mass and that will start falling down. Is it? That will start falling down. So humidity also works for the control of air pollution. Then the solar radiations or the solar flares, you can say. How much are there? Solar. Tar roads are there, and solar radiation, you might have observed while walking on the tar road, it is reflecting back. That heat is reflecting back to your face or your body. It's an impactor that tar is not absorbing that much. It is reflecting back towards the earth, into the atmosphere. So that is the solar radiation. Then the visibility. What is the normal visibility of that vision need to be observed before going to permit to the particular industry or to the particular project in future. Okay, so these are these meteorological parameters, and from the meteorological parameters, or especially from the wind direction and wind speed, you can predict, and the temperature, pressure, etc. These fundamental primary meteorological parameters will help you to understand in what direction the air pollutants are going to be mixed. Is it? And that we are going to see in another figure. You can see this figure. Please see this figure properly and try to understand. You can see this figure and try to understand what is predicted over here. What is possible to understand? Due to the wind speed and wind direction or the pressure conditions in a stack, you can see here this small one is shown is the stack or the chimney, you can say industry chimney. Is it? And it is emitting the air pollutants into the atmosphere. When it is emitting into the atmosphere, due to the presence of pressure into that particular stack and the external condition of atmosphere, wind directions, it will wind speed, pressure, will change the flow of that uh, emitted air pollutants, and whatever the shape is going to be taken by the air pollutants, the mass of air pollutants, we can say that is the plume behavior. What we can say? It is the plume behavior. What is the plume? Plume. Plume behavior. How the plume is going to be behave is depends upon the various at what we can say atmospheric conditions or the meteorological parameters. Okay, the dispersion of air pollutants is being observed, being monitored, being governed by the atmospheric condition or the meteorological parameters. So one of the example is shown here, the plume behavior. Okay, in the first figure, the plume, you are observing that plume is creating the waves. When it is possible to create such kinds of waves, when the unsteady condition is there. When unsteady condition will be there, the wind is blowing with a faster rate. There is no control over there. So you can see such types of loops are getting created of that particular plume. So you can see it is a looping. It is a looping. Okay, I will try to show through my file. Excuse me. Let me check whether it is available in this note or not. I don't think it is not available. Okay. Okay, I will show with the same only. So it is the looping. When it is such types of loops are being observed, you can see it is a looping. Then next one is the coning. When the atmospheric condition is stable at the bottom or stable at the surface level of the earth, as well as atmospheric condition is stable at the higher level of the atmosphere, in that condition, the movements of the air pollutants will be observed in the middle line, and hence it will be observed like the cone like a structure. And that's why because it is showing the cone like structure, we can say it is a coning. Okay, it is a coning type of loop is being observed. Just a minute. It is a coning type of loop. And usually such type of coning type of loop is being observed in during the cloudy days or during the nights, when strong wind velocity is observed near the atmosphere, and above the atmosphere there will be the little constant conditions of the wind are being at that time you can see. Then the next one behavior you will find, and that name is the fanning. When the fanning observes, it occurs under the extreme inversion conditions. Extreme inversion condition in the sense, what is meant by inversion? First, you should know. There are different types of inversion, but the commonly found inversion is the radiation inversion, and another one is the subsidence inversion. Radiation inversion is occurs at the close to the earth surface. It is the, this you can consider this is the earth surface. Close to the earth surface is the radiation inversion. What is meant by radiation inversion? Okay, I will explain. So this is the sun. It is traveling their energy towards the earth surface, is it? And the earth is absorbing that energy, is it? Now, when it is absorbing here during the daytime and during the night time, the earth surface is releasing their temperature, is it? Earth surface is releasing its a temperature, and air near to the Earth's surface is getting cool. Is it? Because the Earth has released the temperature, and now the temperature is released, absorbed by the Earth air, and that air becomes a warm air. That air becomes a warm air, and once it becomes a warm, it will goes up, and that space will be taken by the cold air which is present at the higher level, and this will continue during the night until the entire heat is being released by the Earth's surface. Okay, and during the dawn or early morning, you found that region is covered with a cold air. That region is covered with a cold air close to the Earth's surface, and hence because of the coldness and above, then the sun will rise up. Then because sun is rise up the higher level of the Earth's surface, suppose this is again dividing into two parts, so this much is the cold one, and above that is the warmer one. Why it is warmer one? The sun is rise up, and it is heating that air. Okay, but due to the heat, this become a warm one, and this become a cold one. So the cold layer air will not allow to have the vertical mixing, because natural phenomena is what? Warm air goes up and cold air takes place. Is it? That is the natural phenomena. But here is the reverse condition. Warm air is already at the upper side and cold air is at the lower side. Until that sun is not hitting entire that layer air, it will not be allowed to have the vertical movements of the air. So in that case, there will this region you will found a stagnant region. Stagnant movements are not there. Is it? So that's why this will not coming down towards the Earth's surface. This is known as the radiation inversion, and so it will not allow to move how the movements of the air pollutants towards the downward direction. At the same time, the subsidence inversion will be observed at the higher atmospheric level, so it will not also allow to move in the air pollutants in a upward direction. So a fan like structure you will observe. It may change the direction, but it will not, there will not be the vertical movements. This is known as the fanning. Okay, then the lofting. Lofting is a little bit similar structure to the coning, but in a coning, there will be the movements of the air pollutants from as it is passing away from the stack to away side. At that time, it will start forming the cone-like structure. Is it? Cone-like structure, but means there is a dispersion of air pollutant in a downward direction as well as a upward direction. But in a lofting, what happens? Only there is the radiation inversion. Radiation inversion where occurs? It occurs near to the Earth's surface during the night or early morning. Is it? So at that time, it will not allow to have the movements of air pollution towards the downward direction, but it will allow to move in an upward direction. At that time, you can say it is a lofting. So it is a beneficial type of condition, atmospheric condition. Then the next one is the fumigation. When fumigation occurs, usually during the daytime, when there is a hot sunrise, sun is there, hot sun is very hot during afternoon period, is it? Or during the sunny days, what happens? There will be a subsidence inversion. Subsidence inversion occurs at the higher level of the atmosphere, and at that time it will not allow to have the vertical movements in an upward direction. But at that time there is no radiation inversion. There is allowed to have the movements in a downward direction. So at that time it will start depositing the air pollutants towards the Earth's surface, and that condition is known as the fumigation condition. So it is very dangerous condition as compared to all other the types of plume behaviors. Okay, so these are the possibilities of due to the air movements in a different direction. These are the possibilities due to the air movements in a atmosphere. Okay. We'll see the next point. So I request you to write down the plume behavior. List out these plume behaviors. List out these plume behaviors. In the next lecture, I will give you the notes about this because this is very important for the MCQ type of questions. And currently, you are going to face the exam with the MCQ exam questions. So please note down this. And take attendance now. I will start taking the timing. You can keep on watching. Okay, I will not take now snapshots because only 1 minute is remainder to end of this session, and during that time I may not be able to take it out. You are requested to rejoin. Yes, please. Someone was talking, or by mistake. Okay. So you are requested to write down these points. The very interesting and next part we will see in the next lecture. But please get reconnected for the next session also because I have to take the snapshot for the attendance purpose.